Have you ever observed how Amish families manage to eat exceptionally well on a remarkably small budget? The key to their success is found in these 50 recipes that convert inexpensive components into extraordinary dishes. While contemporary consumers grapple with escalating food prices, the Amish uphold age-old customs that make every dollar go as far as possible. And this begins with food prepared at home that surpasses the flavor of costly retail alternatives. Consider overnight oatmeal, which costs mere pennies. Are you interested in a breakfast that is practically free? This fundamental Amish dish is 80% cheaper than items purchased from stores, adhering to straightforward methods accessible to all. Simply combine oats with milk and any fruits that are affordable or currently in season, precisely mirroring how Amish households consume based on availability. Its brilliance is in preparing it in large quantities. Amish households provide for everyone for less than $2 in total, with a gradual release of energy that sustains them throughout the morning, ideal for agricultural labor. This morning meal is economically sound without compromising enjoyment. A fellow who sampled this remarked that he had been spending too much on breakfast for his entire life. An Amish agriculturist once asserted that his morning oatmeal fueled him through the task of milking 12 cows before many people even considered waking up. Amish Friendship Bread Starter. The secret to saving money on bread is, indeed, the dough itself. This continuous culture obviates the need to purchase yeast repeatedly, a fundamental aspect of Amish financial prudence. The starter serves as both a useful kitchen essential and a significant present within close-knit communities. Certain Amish settlements continue to employ heritage starters that are more than 150 years old. This practice originated when frontier Amish had restricted access to commercial leavening agents. Each feeding sustains the culture while increasing its quantity, generating plenty from little. In accordance with Amish baking lore, a well-tended starter is believed to bring affluence to any home that maintains it for 7 years running. Farm Fresh Egg Casserole. Breakfast transforms into an economical indulgence through astute Amish resourcefulness. Their distinctive method extends costly protein with vegetables from the garden, reducing meal expenses by 60% without diminishing satisfaction. If you prepare this the night before, it becomes evident why Amish families value efficiency so highly. As the sun rises over the farm, breakfast is prepared without any morning rush, aligning perfectly with early rising work routines while conserving valuable morning fuel. One extra egg can feed 2 additional individuals when mixed with garden vegetables. During the height of the production season, an Amish farm with merely 20 hens yields sufficient eggs for 140 casseroles, enough to provide for the entire church district's Sunday breakfast. Amish cornmeal mush. From a single, humble ingredient valued at pennies, a substantial meal emerges that appeases the most robust farm appetites. The Amish have perfected the art of converting 25-cent cornmeal into satisfying sustenance through a brilliant 2-step cooking process. First, in the evening, they prepare a soft, warm porridge. The following morning, they slice the cooled remnants and fry them to a crispy finish in a cast-iron skillet, which ingeniously contributes dietary iron at no extra cost. Each portion provides over 500 calories for a minimal outlay, ideally supporting the physical exertions of farm existence. As the Amish proverb states, cornmeal in the pantry means money in the bank. An elderly Amish gentleman attested to having consumed cornmeal mush over 15,000 times throughout his life, never once growing weary of it. Clean out the fridge breakfast pie. Nothing is squandered in Amish kitchens. Families save more than $30 each week by repurposing food that might otherwise be thrown away. The straightforward egg foundation unites leftover components according to principles of waste minimization that are consistent with profound religious beliefs about stewardship. This breakfast option demonstrates impressive adaptability through changing seasons. Summer might offer zucchini and tomatoes, whereas winter variations incorporate stored potatoes and preserved peppers. The Amish grandmother's criterion: if it's suitable for feeding the family, it's not to be discarded. One frugal Amish mother professes to have nourished her family of 8 for an entire month without visiting the grocery store by mastering this method. No-knead bread from Amish kitchens. Here is bread that essentially prepares itself. This Amish adaptation calls for very little active time while saving $3 to $4 per loaf when contrasted with artisanal bakery bread. The customary method masterfully blends European heritage with practical domestic requirements. Slow fermentation performs its wonders overnight, cultivating intricate flavors without costly ingredients. The dough utilizes the natural temperature variations in homes lacking sophisticated equipment. Warmer kitchens accelerate the process, while cooler areas slow it down. It's said an Amish baker eventually purchases a timepiece because his bread consistently takes its leisure. Studies indicate that Amish families who bake their own bread save, on average, $520 per year compared to buying commercial versions. Easy Amish white bread. Would you credit that this costs merely 80 cents per loaf as opposed to $4 or more in shops? This recipe illustrates fundamental Amish thriftiness while acting as the bedrock of independence from commercial food networks. Young Amish girls usually master this vital skill by the age of 8, ensuring self-reliance is passed down through generations. The tradition holds a significance deeper than mere nutrition in Amish society, where bread making is linked to spiritual values of provision and nurturing. The crowning moment arrives when golden loaves come out of the oven, filling the home with an aroma no commercial bakery can replicate. A typical Amish family of 6 consumes roughly 832 loaves of bread annually, all homemade, resulting in savings of over $20,600 each year. Amish dinner rolls. These fluffy gems ingeniously employ potato cooking water that most kitchens throw away. Water from boiled potatoes contains starch that yields an exceptional texture, adhering to Amish principles of maximizing resources. Nothing is wasted. This smart technique originated during the hardships of the Depression era, when numerous Amish communities experienced dairy scarcities. Unable to pay for milk, resourceful cooks found that potato water produced comparable results. Lancaster County Amish tend to prefer somewhat sweeter versions, whereas Indiana settlements opt for more savory profiles featuring herbs. Store-purchased rolls cost 5 times as much, yet their taste is only half as good. On our channel, the sole item we will ever endorse is a publication by Claude Davis, an experienced prepper, detailing 126 superfoods and preservation techniques from challenging periods such as the Great Depression and wartime, which are not readily available from other sources. Our decision to highlight his book stems from the belief that we represent the final generation capable of passing on these methods and superfoods to our offspring or their children. It would be a great loss if this knowledge concerning exceptionally nutritious foods and preservation strategies for surviving crises were to vanish. Additionally, a book on herbal remedies by Nicole is available in their store. For those viewing this on television, you can search for our channel, Frugal Solutions, using your phone or tablet, and locate the books by selecting the link provided in our channel description or in the description of any other video. Amish sourdough bread. Genuine financial independence commences with the elimination of recurring expenditures. This bread does away with continuous yeast purchases by means of a self-sustaining starter, epitomizing a core Amish economic approach. Some families preserve starter cultures across 7 generations, thereby forging a family heritage while sidestepping modern reliances. The natural fermentation method enhances nutrient uptake, a quality esteemed in Amish holistic health practices long before nutritionists recognized the advantages of sourdough. The longest-standing Amish sourdough starter is so aged it could legitimately participate in 3 elections. Research shows that traditional sourdough fermentation boosts mineral bioavailability by as much as 62%, meaning these loaves are quite literally worth their weight in nutritional gold. Oatmeal bread from Amish bakeries. Shrewd Amish bakers integrate less costly oats to make more expensive flour go further, a perfect illustration of resourcefulness ingrained in daily routines. This adaptation harks back to wartime conservation efforts when Amish communities encountered wheat rationing yet persisted in supplying daily bread. Traditional stone grinding imparts a unique texture unattainable in mass-produced loaves. The slight roughness of freshly ground grains offers a gratifying chewiness while staying tender enough for sandwiches. Adhering to these proven methods yields bakery-standard bread while keeping valuable dollars in one's pocket. The beta-glucans in the oats utilized in Amish bread recipes have been demonstrated to reduce cholesterol by up to 23%, making this one of those infrequent instances where the more affordable ingredient is, in fact, healthier than the costly one. Perpetual Amish soup pot. Uninterrupted cooking cycles cut down on fuel use in traditional Amish homes where every cent is significant. The perpetual soup pot upholds the practical knowledge from times before refrigeration, when rural communities depended on cleverness rather than technology. As ingredients simmer, kitchen remnants and leftovers are converted into nourishing meals, day after day. Nothing is squandered in this sustainable arrangement that exemplifies Amish principles of resource management. Readily available sustenance throughout the cold winter months offers substantial calories when outdoor labor requires maximum energy for minimal cost. The soup changes daily, sometimes robust with root vegetables, other times more delicate with the bounty of a summer garden. In the harshest Lancaster County winters, Amish families have kept the same soup pot going continuously for over 30 days, incorporating fresh ingredients daily while the base itself becomes richer and more intricate. Navy bean soup the Amish way. Complete protein is served at the table for merely 1/5 the expense of meat-centered dishes, a crucial element in the Amish household economy where practicality dictates food selections. Distinct bean varieties cultivated in various settlements demonstrate generations of adaptation to local growing environments. What thrives in humid Pennsylvania is different from the drought-tolerant types favored in Midwestern Amish communities. Strategic planning aligns this low-effort meal with the Amish wash day, when everyone is occupied with laundry. The soup simmers without supervision, while other duties receive focus. An Amish household requires navy bean soup, as hand-washing laundry can certainly build an appetite of naval proportions. Fresh herbs from household gardens boost flavor without extra cost, making even the most basic meal taste opulent. Potato soup that tastes rich without cream. Special cooking methods from Lancaster County Amish kitchens utilize natural potato starch to achieve a creamy consistency without expensive dairy items. This sensible luxury balances rich satisfaction with everyday affordability, vital when feeding large families on modest incomes. The recipe cleverly employs second-grade potatoes, plentiful during the harvest season on Amish farms. These imperfect yet perfectly good potatoes are substantially cheaper while providing identical nutrition. For generations, resourceful Amish cooks have perfected techniques that transform humble ingredients into something that tastes luxurious without the luxurious price. A traditional cast iron pot lends a flavor complexity that is impossible to replicate in modern cookware. Studies of traditional Amish cooking practices indicate that slowly simmering potatoes releases 42% more flavor compounds than the rapid cooking methods commonly employed today. Chicken corn soup from Amish country, utilizing the entire animal, illustrates Amish thriftiness, deriving maximum benefit from carefully raised livestock. Nothing edible is wasted. Feet and necks add rich gelatin, while the meat is extended across several meals. Summer corn, preserved using traditional Amish drying methods, imparts a complex sweetness throughout the chilly winter months. The characteristic chewy texture of dried corn kernels rehydrated in broth cannot be duplicated with frozen options. This recipe is linked to communal work exchanges where families earn portions of soup by assisting with the harvest, a practical form of payment that strengthens community ties while feeding all participants. At customary Amish weddings, over 30 gallons of chicken corn soup might be prepared to serve 200 or more guests, all made from chickens raised on family farms and corn dried the previous summer. Beef bone broth from the Amish homestead. Butchering techniques refined over generations extract worth from parts typically thrown away in contemporary food systems. Amish families transform bones, joints, and tough connective tissues into a valuable liquid through patient simmering. The resultant broth contains compounds acknowledged for their benefits to joint and digestive health in traditional Amish medicine, long before wellness movements popularized bone broth. This ancient wisdom, passed down through generations, supports health without costly supplements. Seasonal processing is coordinated with community-wide butchering days to optimize resource efficiency. An Amish fellow once joked that an Amish family couldn't keep a secret because their bone broth was simply too delicious to remain quiet about. The traditional vinegar technique boosts mineral extraction, thereby increasing the nutritional return on investment from each animal raised. Classic Amish casserole. The clever three-part structure permits countless variations while ensuring predictable costs in Amish meal preparation. Combining a starch base, a protein component, and a vegetable element results in meals that meet diverse family requirements without exceeding the budget. Slow cooking methods enhance flavors while allowing Amish women the freedom to manage multiple duties, essential when running a homestead without modern conveniences. Its origins can be traced to the westward migration of the Amish, when the unpredictability of resources necessitated cooking flexibility. These substantial dishes often make an appearance when new mothers receive support from the community. Practical meals brought by neighbors offer sustenance during recovery and showcase community care. Anthropologists who have studied Amish food customs discovered that a single community might exchange over 250 casseroles each year as part of their mutual support practices. Chicken and dumplings, Amish style. Every bit of nutritional value is captured from the cooking liquid in this masterpiece of waste avoidance. The rich broth converts ordinary flour dumplings into flavor-absorbing pillows that satisfy even the most voracious appetites. Old laying hens, past their commercial prime, are transformed into tender family meals through slow, gentle cooking. This method turns what modern kitchens might discard into a dish worthy of celebration, costing mere pennies per serving. Frequently prepared for barn-raising teams, this hearty meal sustained workers through physically strenuous community endeavors. During a standard Amish barn raising involving 40 workers, approximately 8 hens and 15 pounds of dumpling dough would feed the entire crew, at a cost roughly comparable to ordering 2 large pizzas. Ground beef stretcher from the Amish kitchen. 1 pound of ground beef miraculously feeds twice the number of people at half the expense through this Amish innovation. It's the perfect representation of the make-do philosophy developed during times of economic hardship when meat prices put a strain on family budgets. Traditional slow cooking is well suited to wood stoves and off-grid Amish households, developing a richer flavor than quick cooking methods. Oatmeal soaks up meat juices while extending the protein, yielding a satisfying texture that is indistinguishable from versions with more meat. This sensible approach is found in numerous handwritten community cookbooks passed down through generations. It's said Amish cooks are the best financial advisors because they can make $1 worth of ground beef seem like 2. The technique is equally effective with venison from the autumn hunt, further lowering family food expenditures. Ham and beans the Amish way. Derive multiple meals from a single holiday ham purchase with this method that maximizes the return on your investment. The flavorful ham bone imparts a rich taste to simple beans, while offering several meal solutions from one initial outlay. Root cellar storage techniques developed by Amish families preserve dried beans for months without electricity. Properly stored beans retain their nutritional value and are always ready for quick meal preparation. This recipe exemplifies the Amish philosophical outlook that apparent scarcity often conceals abundance when approached with wisdom and patience. A traditional Saturday evening meal in many Amish households, it establishes predictable meal patterns that lessen decision-making stress, a concept modern nutritionists now advocate for dietary success. Poor man's steak from Amish country. Special tenderizing techniques transform inexpensive ground beef into dishes worthy of a special occasion, mimicking the texture and satisfaction of premium cuts. This Amish method creates an illusion of luxury from modest ingredients. Interestingly, this budget-friendly alternative possesses a higher mineral content than premium cuts, aligning with Amish nutritional wisdom that sometimes the lesser option offers greater health advantages. Originating during the agricultural depression of the 1920s, when many Amish farmers endured financial difficulties, this resourceful solution turned a necessity into a treasured tradition. Amidst economic hardship, an Amish community cookbook published in 1928 featured 7 distinct versions of poor man's steak, with each family sharing their unique variation to assist neighbors in stretching their food budgets. Dutch potato filling, Amish style. Waste not, want not. That is the Amish philosophy. This ingenious dish converts stale bread into a delectable accompaniment, perfectly illustrating traditional principles of waste reduction. Leftover bread that most people would discard becomes the cornerstone of a hearty side dish. European herb combinations are a nod to the heritage brought by Amish immigrants who settled in America generations ago. Thyme, parsley, and sage produce distinct flavor profiles unique to each family's custom. Featured prominently in Sunday meals after church, this uncomplicated dish elevates basic ingredients to something special. The starchy comfort food ideally complements the protein served following a morning of worship and community fellowship. An Amish community cookbook dating from 1887 lists 24 different variations of potato filling, each credited to a different family's unique recipe passed down through generations. Amish baked beans. Extended slow cooking processes transform inexpensive dried beans into rich delicacies that adorn Amish tables for pennies per serving. Traditional wood-fired ovens impart distinct smoky notes that are impossible to replicate with modern kitchen appliances. These hearty beans frequently make an appearance at Amish frolics, where community members convene for collective work projects such as barn raisings or quilt makings. The economical dish feeds many diligent hands without overstretching limited resources. Regional variations clearly demonstrate how Amish communities adapted to local ingredients as they founded settlements across America. As one Amish fellow quipped, one Amish cook always wins the baked bean competition because he had all day to perfect the recipe while everyone else was in a hurry. Ohio settlements favor molasses, while Indiana communities tend towards brown sugar, each creating unique flavor profiles from the same humble ingredients. Red beet eggs from Amish pantries. Clever Amish cooks utilize natural beet pigment instead of costly artificial food coloring to create vibrant, appealing eggs. This practical method transforms ordinary hard-boiled eggs into something special without any added expense. The pickling process extends the storage life of eggs without refrigeration, a critical benefit in traditional Amish homesteads operating without electricity. Eggs can be safely kept for weeks, providing a ready source of protein when required. Featured prominently in Pennsylvania Amish Easter festivities, these colorful eggs add a festive touch at minimal cost. The preparation knowledge is typically passed from mother to daughter in Amish kitchens, forging unbroken chains of culinary wisdom that connect generations. Food scientists have verified that the natural compounds in beets, which color these Amish eggs, also supply beneficial antioxidants not present in artificially colored alternatives. Pepper cabbage, an Amish staple. Raw preparation preserves nutritional integrity while conserving cooking fuel, 2 significant factors in budget-conscious Amish households. This crisp side dish necessitates no energy for cooking, yet delivers maximum nutrition. The straightforward recipe perfectly embodies the Amish preference for elegant simplicity over complex preparations. A few ingredients combine to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Harvest time aligns with autumnal abundance in Amish garden plots, capitalizing on peak season produce at its finest. Many Amish families intentionally plant extra cabbage, knowing this preservation method will extend the harvest's bounty for months. Studies of traditional Amish diets indicate that regular consumption of fermented cabbage dishes may contribute to their lower incidence of digestive issues compared to the general population. Sweet and sour green beans Amish country style. Rapid pickling prolongs harvest value without requiring elaborate canning equipment in Amish kitchens, where practicality and simplicity guide food preservation. This efficient technique transforms plentiful green beans into a tangy side dish that enlivens winter meals. It's the practical answer for managing summer garden profusion, ensuring nothing is wasted, a cornerstone of Amish resource stewardship. When bean plants yield more than families can consume fresh, this preservation method retains both nutrition and flavor. It's said Amish farmers plant so many green beans because their sweet and sour recipe was so popular, the neighbors would request jars of it all winter long. The distinctive flavor profile highlights the Amish appreciation for complementary taste elements, balancing sharp vinegar with gentle sweetness to achieve complex results from simple ingredients. Amish Chow Chow. Late-season garden remnants are transformed into valuable condiments through this masterpiece of waste reduction. Small quantities of various vegetables combine to create a colorful relish that adds interest to winter meals when fresh produce becomes limited. Recipe variations act as distinguishing features among different Amish settlement groups. Lancaster County versions tend to have sweeter profiles, whereas Midwestern communities favor spicier combinations, each reflecting generational adaptations to local tastes. Community canning days reinforce social connections while efficiently processing food. Multiple families collaborating can process hundreds of jars in a single day, making easy work of harvest abundance. Traditional Amish Chow Chow recipes employ up to 14 different vegetables, positioning it as one of the most nutritionally diverse preserved foods in their culinary heritage. Canned tomatoes, an Amish pantry essential. Exact timing captures optimal flavor at the lowest seasonal price, adhering to agricultural wisdom passed down through generations of Amish gardeners. Seasoned canners identify the perfect interval when tomatoes achieve maximum sweetness and acidity. Specific weeks in August, designated for tomato preservation, are noted in traditional Amish community calendars, guaranteeing this crucial pantry staple receives due attention before autumn harvests demand their time. The rhythm corresponds with seasonal work patterns dictated by community ordinance principles. Family-specific adjustments to recipes represent multi-generational knowledge transfer, vital for safe preservation. Variations in tomato acidity necessitate customized methods handed down through meticulous instruction. A survey of Amish pantries revealed that the average family preserves between 52 and 78 quarts of tomatoes annually, enough to utilize a quart every 4 to 7 days throughout the year. 7-day sweet pickles from Amish country. Patient processing yields a complexity unattainable in quick commercial counterparts. The prolonged 7-day method produces crispness and flavor layering that cannot be expedited, mirroring the Amish value of patience in all endeavors. This traditional technique benefits from a multi-generational household structure, where processing duties are distributed among family members. Grandmothers, mothers, and daughters each manage different days of the process, transforming preservation into a shared activity. Precise coordination with cucumber harvest cycles ensures ideal size and texture. It's said Amish pickles are never stressed, as they've spent an entire week relaxing in a brine spa. The process instills patience as both a practical skill and a spiritual virtue, lessons integrated into daily activities rather than abstract instruction. Apple butter the Amish way. Natural reduction concentrates apple sugars, thereby lowering sweetener expenses in Amish, preserving customs. Prolonged slow cooking caramelizes natural fruit sugars without necessitating costly added sweeteners, ideal for budget-aware families. Traditional copper kettle preparation has evolved into a community affair in many settlements. The enormous kettles demand multiple stirrers working in rotations, converting work into a social event where news and stories circulate as freely as the apple butter. Specialized wooden stirring paddles, passed down through generations, exhibit smooth patches from decades of handling. These family heirlooms signify the continuity of tradition, with each new generation contributing their own history to the implements. During peak apple season, larger Amish communities can produce over 500 pints in a single community apple butter-making day. Corn relish from Amish farmsteads. Capturing the transient nutritional window when corn sugars peak before converting to starch necessitates precise timing, developed through generations of observation. The brief interval when corn is perfect for relish lasts only a few days. Experienced Amish cooks recognize it immediately. This preservation often occurs during husking bees, when community members convene to process the harvest. Many hands make light work of the labor-intensive task while fortifying community bonds. The recipe contains notably less sugar than English, non-Amish versions, reflecting Amish taste preferences cultivated over centuries. It's often joked that Amish corn relish wins first prize at the county fair because it's amazing in every way. Meticulous cutting techniques preserve kernel integrity, demonstrating the attention to detail apparent in all facets of Amish food preparation. Shufly pie, authentic Amish style, featuring molasses as the primary ingredient, makes perfect economic sense. Historically, molasses was the most economical sweetener accessible to Amish households, rendering this pie both delightful and budget-conscious. The peculiar name derives from practical circumstances. The sweet filling attracted flies during cooling periods in Amish kitchens, necessitating constant shooing before screen windows became prevalent. This everyday occurrence evolved into a quaint name that has endured through generations. Unlike elaborate desserts reserved for special occasions, Shufly pie uniquely serves as a breakfast item rather than a dessert in traditional Amish meal customs. The substantial sweetness offers quick energy for morning farm duties without relying on expensive ingredients. Regional variations between Amish communities are so profound that wedding engagements have reportedly been queried when a prospective bride favored the opposite Shufly style, wet bottom versus dry bottom, from her future husband's family. Amish sugar cookies, fundamental pantry ingredients, combine to yield endless variations without requiring specialty purchases. Flour, sugar, and fat are transformed into delicate cookies that stretch limited resources while still offering a special treat at minimal expense. These simple cookies were developed during periods when sugar rationing impacted even self-sufficient Amish communities. The recipe maximizes sweetness while using minimal sugar, a clever economy born from necessity. Family-specific decorative imprints identify the source of cookies at community gatherings and food exchanges. It's said Amish sugar cookies are never lonely because they always arrive at gatherings in batches. Often the initial baking lesson for young Amish children, these cookies impart basic kitchen skills while creating something everyone appreciates, making learning both practical and gratifying. Whoopie pies from Amish bakeries. Found throughout Amish communities, these confections contain considerably less sugar than typical American desserts, reflecting cultural values of moderation in all aspects of life, including sweetness. The balanced flavor satisfies without being cloying. The practical, portable design originated as a convenient dessert for Amish farmers' field lunches. Easy to pack and neat to consume by hand, the sandwich-like structure addressed the challenge of providing dessert without utensils or plates. Assembly frequently becomes a social endeavor during community work events, with multiple generations collaborating to match similarly sized cakes and add filling. Amish whoopie pies average 3.5 inches in diameter, whereas commercial versions typically measure only 2 inches, further illustrating that Amish communities cherish generous hospitality even in the smallest details. Applesauce cake the Amish way. Oil-based recipes do away with expensive butter, a notable economic factor in Amish households where dairy products might be sold for income rather than consumed at home. This smart substitution yields a moist texture while conserving valuable resources. Recipe development coincided with the introduction of ovens to Amish kitchens in the late 1800s, which replaced hearth cooking with more controllable baking environments. This technological advancement, though modest by today's standards, revolutionized Amish baking traditions. It's often said the Amish baker won the applesauce cake competition because they had the core confidence and appetitude about using seasonal ingredients. Timing aligns perfectly with the fall apple harvest in Amish orchards for maximum freshness and flavor, exemplifying the principle of utilizing what is abundant rather than buying special ingredients. Oatmeal pie from Amish country. Resourceful Amish cooks devised this clever substitute for costly pecan pie at merely 1/4 the expense. The innovative replacement maintains a similar texture and sweetness while significantly cutting costs, ideal for large families with constrained budgets. This inventive adaptation arose during historical times when nuts were unaffordable for most Amish households. Instead of foregoing treats, ingenious cooks developed this alternative that mimics the texture of nut-based fillings. Regional variations reflect the different sweeteners available in various Amish communities. Some versions employ sorghum molasses, while others incorporate maple syrup or honey, depending on local accessibility. Food historians have documented at least 12 distinct variations of Amish oatmeal pie, each mirroring the economic and agricultural circumstances of different settlements across North America. Amish meadow tea. Harvesting wild mint eliminates all grocery expenses for this invigorating beverage, a perfect alignment with Amish principles of resource stewardship. The simple act of gathering what grows freely transforms an ordinary plant into a special refreshment. Knowledge of identifying various mint varieties is passed down through Amish oral tradition, with children learning to distinguish subtle differences in leaf shapes and aromas. This practical education connects younger generations to both their natural surroundings and cultural heritage. The preparation coincides with haymaking season, when cool refreshment sustains Amish field workers through long, hot days. It's said Amish families never worry about running out of meadow tea, as the mint always regrows, making it the gift that keeps on giving. Commonly served during barn raisings when community members labor collectively, this free beverage curtails costs when feeding large work crews. Homemade root beer, an Amish celebration drink. Natural fermentation produces gentle carbonation without specialized apparatus, perfectly illustrating Amish principles of simplicity. Just molasses, roots, water, and thyme combine to create a special occasion beverage that costs mere pennies per serving. This tradition preserves knowledge of medicinal plant properties within Amish communities, linking practical refreshment with folk wellness wisdom passed down through generations. Sassafras, sarsaparilla, and wintergreen each contribute distinctive flavors while also serving traditional health purposes. Reserved for special occasions like weddings in the Amish celebration hierarchy, this drink signifies important community events without extravagant expenditure. Amish wedding root beer production typically commences 1 week prior to the ceremony, with final fermentation timed to achieve perfect carbonation precisely on the wedding morning. A feat of timing that demonstrates remarkable understanding of fermentation science. Hot chocolate mix from Amish pantries. Bulk preparation leads to substantial savings, just 15 cents per serving compared to 75 cents for commercial packets. This sensible approach cuts down on packaging waste while ensuring consistent quality that commercial products cannot rival. Morning preparation fits seamlessly with dairy chores and traditional Amish farm schedules. Fresh milk from the morning's milking is combined with the homemade mix for a warming beverage that begins cold days with comfort and nutrition. The subtle addition of coffee reflects the European heritage of Amish ancestors, who often combined the two flavors. It's said Amish children eagerly anticipate winter mornings because that's hot chocolate season, when even completing chores in freezing barns is followed by a sweet reward. Family variations in recipes point to the original European regions from which Amish ancestors hailed. Some prefer cinnamon, while others add nutmeg or vanilla. Amish lemonade concentrate. Strategic acquisition of citrus during seasonal sales demonstrates sophisticated Amish economic foresight. Purchasing lemons at peak availability and lowest cost yields year-round refreshment at a fraction of the price of ready-made options. Traditionally prepared for Sunday gatherings following church services, this concentrate offers simple hospitality without requiring last-minute preparation. The make-ahead method permits proper attention to worship and community rather than kitchen tasks. The recipe underscores the Amish value of producing rather than purchasing whenever feasible. Commercial beverages seldom appear at Amish gatherings where homemade alternatives showcase both thrift and care. An Amish community cookbook from 1943 mentions that 1 quart of concentrate could serve 60 people when appropriately diluted, evidence of meticulous resource management, even in refreshments. Dandelion wine from Amish homesteads. Transforming free backyard weeds into valuable products perfectly epitomizes Amish resourcefulness. What others might treat with chemicals, Amish families harvest for delightful free beverages that cost nothing but time and sugar. Traditionally served as a spring tonic in Amish folk health practices, this mildly alcoholic drink was deemed beneficial for thinning winter blood and enhancing vitality after long, cold months. Modern science confirms dandelions possess beneficial compounds that support liver function. It's said Amish families never worry about dandelions overtaking the yard. For them, it's just the wine cellar cultivating itself right outside the door. Harvesting duties often fall to Amish children as an introduction to identifying useful plants. This practical education teaches youngsters to perceive value in what others disregard, a cornerstone of Amish thrift philosophy. Homemade salad dressings Amish style. Simple base recipes are expanded into countless variations in Amish kitchens, obviating the need for expensive store-bought alternatives. Just vinegar, oil, and seasonings create dressings that cost pennies per serving compared to commercial versions. Fresh herb selections reflect what is readily available in kitchen gardens, changing with the seasons and demonstrating the Amish connection to natural growing cycles. Spring brings chive blossoms, while summer offers basil and dill, each yielding distinct flavors without additional cost. This practical approach aligns perfectly with the Amish preference for home production over commercial purchase. Making rather than buying represents both economic wisdom and cultural values. During winter months, when gardens are dormant, Amish women create vinegar infusions with dried herbs, providing productive indoor activity while maintaining flavor variety throughout cold seasons when fresh options become scarce. DIY cream soups from Amish kitchens. One adaptable base replaces numerous canned products in well-stocked Amish pantries. Instead of buying separate mushroom, celery, and chicken varieties, this single recipe can be modified to suit whatever ingredients are on hand, drastically cutting food expenses. The method makes optimal use of home-dried ingredients stored in cellars and pantries through the winter months. Dehydrated mushrooms, celery, and herbs reconstitute perfectly in the creamy base, producing fresh-tasting results from preserved components. It's often joked that Amish cooks laugh at pantry emergencies. With one base recipe, they're always just minutes away from any cream soup flavor the family desires. Frequently prepared in large amounts for school and church-building projects, these versatile bases efficiently feed community workers. Traditional knowledge is passed on through demonstration rather than written recipes, with daughters learning by working alongside their mothers and grandmothers. Homemade pasta the Amish way. Manual techniques require no specialized equipment, perfectly adhering to Amish principles of simplicity. Rolling pins and sharp knives transform basic flour and eggs into noodles that cost a fraction of packaged versions while tasting infinitely superior. Egg noodle traditions are directly linked to the Pennsylvania Dutch heritage of many Amish communities. The distinctive yellow hue and rich flavor derive from farm-fresh eggs, which commercial versions cannot match in either nutrition or taste. Preparation often involves multiple generations collaborating, with children learning to roll dough while grandparents cut perfect noodles with practiced precision. Anthropologists studying Amish kitchen practices found that homemade pasta production saves the average family approximately $312 annually, while providing 42% higher protein content than commercial alternatives. Chicken stock powder from Amish farms. Ingenious dehydration methods maximize storage efficiency in space-constrained Amish pantries. Converting bulky liquid stock to concentrated powder saves precious jar space while retaining all nutritional benefits. Practical wisdom for households lacking modern freezers. The process utilizes heat already produced by wood stoves in Amish kitchens, efficiently serving two purposes with the same fuel. During winter months, stock reduction synchronizes perfectly with home heating requirements. Production timing aligns with fall butchering schedules in Amish communities when fresh ingredients become plentifully available. It's humorously said that Amish chicken stock powder won the county fair because it was truly exceptional and superior at the same time. Specialized clay storage containers manage humidity challenges in root cellars, keeping the powder perfectly dry until it's needed. Amish mayonnaise. Small batch production eliminates the necessity for preservatives in Amish cooking while delivering a fresh flavor that commercial versions cannot equal. Made just a pint at a time, this condiment remains naturally fresh without refrigeration for shorter durations than store-bought alternatives. The specific hand-beating technique creates a perfect emulsion in Amish kitchens without electrical appliances. The steady, patient method incorporates oil drop by drop until the ideal consistency is achieved, impossibly creamy with just the right thickness. Production naturally corresponds with peak egg production cycles on Amish farms, utilizing abundance when available and adapting when scarce. Historic Amish cookbooks indicate that homemade mayonnaise recipes appeared in Amish kitchens in the 1920s, decades before commercial versions became widely accessible in rural stores, a testament to the community's culinary innovation despite apparent isolation. Amish wedding chicken. Large batch preparation methods economically feed wedding guests during multi-day Amish celebrations, which often include 200 or more attendees. Special cooking techniques preserve moisture and flavor while permitting preparation prior to the actual wedding day. This dish traditionally holds the position of centerpiece at marriage festivities. Simple, yet satisfying enough for the most significant community gatherings, the recipe balances festivity with practicality in true Amish fashion. Preservation methods developed specifically for food safety at non-electrified gatherings ensure this special dish remains safe without modern refrigeration. It's often said Amish wedding chicken is never overcooked because too many cooks don't spoil the broth when everyone knows their specific role in the preparation. Each stage of cooking commences with prayer and blessing, in keeping with religious practices that permeate daily activities with spiritual meaning. Amish church spread. Room temperature stability makes this spread ideal for 3-hour Amish worship services conducted in homes rather than dedicated church buildings. The tangy, creamy mixture maintains its safety even when modern refrigeration is unavailable. This particular food holds a specific place in the meal sequence at Communion Sunday gatherings, appearing between the sermon and the main meal. Its placement conveys symbolic significance beyond mere sustenance. Responsibility for its preparation rotates through community households on a predetermined schedule, distributing both the honor and the labor of feeding the congregation. In traditional Old Order Amish communities, the duty of preparing church spread falls to each family approximately once every 18 months, with the recipe required to adhere to strict traditional guidelines established by community consensus. Haystack dinner from Amish tables. The self-serve format accommodates diverse preferences while upholding community dining traditions, crucial to Amish social structure. The build-your-own method allows for individual selection within a communal eating experience, balancing personal taste with a shared event. This relatively new innovation represents knowledge brought back by returning Amish missionaries from other communities, illustrating adaptability within a consistent cultural framework. Though more recent than many traditions, it has rapidly become cherished across multiple settlements. Amish children adore haystack dinners, as it's the one occasion they are permitted to construct towers at the dinner table without reprimand. Most frequently prepared when multiple families collaborate on community projects, this meal efficiently feeds large groups with minimal preparation time, practical hospitality at its most refined. Amish celebration roast. Slow cooking transforms economical cuts into meals worthy of special occasions in Amish homes, where practicality is paramount, even during celebrations. Tough chuck roasts become fork tender through patient cooking that aligns perfectly with wood stove heating methods. Traditionally prepared for welcoming new babies in Amish communities, this hearty dish provides sustenance for visitors who come to meet newborns and assist new mothers with household duties. This practical hospitality nurtures both family and community bonds. Specific wood choices for smoking reflect regional culinary traditions, with applewood being favored in Pennsylvania settlements, while hickory is predominant in Midwestern Amish communities. Traditional Amish celebration roasts cook for 5 to 7 hours, developing deep flavor compounds that are impossible to achieve through the quick cooking methods popular in modern kitchens. Friendship soup mix from Amish kitchens. The eye-catching layered presentation showcases Amish attention to visual beauty in simplicity. The colorful strata of various dried ingredients create an attractive gift that requires no elaborate packaging, practical beauty from basic components. These mixed jars serve as traditional presents for families encountering illness or hardship in Amish communities, where practical aid is prioritized over verbal expressions of sympathy. The gesture offers both immediate visual encouragement and future nourishment, with minimal effort from the recipient. Winter preparation provides purposeful activity during the agricultural off-season for Amish families. It's said Amish friendship soup mixes are never declined as gifts because they're exceedingly thoughtful and always in excellent taste. A single quart jar contains enough to feed 12 people at approximately 27 cents per serving. Remarkable economy that demonstrates how Amish traditions meld practicality with genuine concern. These 50 Amish recipes demonstrate that delicious meals do not require expensive ingredients. By employing these straightforward methods, you will reduce grocery expenses while preparing food that everyone enjoys. The Amish secret is evident. The most economical cooking often yields the most memorable meals.